Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the war field.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, your Monday morning tight end show. Your Monday evening, I'm Marcus Dash. Hope everyone is staying warm out there on the East Coast. So we had like about 10 inches of snow yesterday, pretty much all ice. I mean, it was a nice workout, having to shovel all that snow. But hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying warm at this time of the year. Of course, Chief Concerns is presented by FanDuel. And guys, I don't know. Since the Chiefs are out, having a look at this kind of playoffs. By the way, playoffs yesterday without the Chiefs in it was kind of a disaster. I don't know if anyone else felt the same way, but especially the AFC Championship game yesterday. But I kind of want to take a quick look ahead, a quick glance from our sponsors at FanDuel, kind of the game ahead. Seahawks a 4.5-point favorite, which I thought was very interesting, and they looked pretty good against the Rams yesterday. Sam Darnold looked phenomenal. And, of course, Super Bowl's in 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now. It'll be on NBC. And here's kind of the quick glance ahead from our sponsors at FanDuel here. Like I said, 4.5-point favorite for the Seahawks against the Patriots. I think I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one as far as where I'm kind of looking at this game. That's based on the way they've played. Their offense looks great. Their defense is phenomenal. And the Patriots have not stood out to me at all. But I have to say, I think I'm going Seahawks here, but 4.5 points is the opening line for this one. And of course, all lines and odds presented by FanDuel here on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So going to be an interesting one nonetheless. Curious to hear what everyone's thoughts are in the chats and the comments. What do you guys have in the upcoming Super Bowl, Patriots and Seahawks? Going to be a fun one regardless of the Chiefs not being in it. Of course, next year. And I do got to say, I think the AFC is definitely owned now by the Seahawks or by the Patriots and the Chiefs now. So it's like kind of like a shared thing. We're in it. If we're not in it, the Patriots are in it and vice versa. So it's the rest of the football world, everybody else in the AFC, very upset yesterday. They're happy the Chiefs weren't in it, but at the same point, they were upset that the Patriots are the team representing the AFC. So pick your poison, I guess, for much of the AFC and the fan base in the NFL overall. But let's take a look and see who's in the chat tonight. Witchy Hall, what's going on, Witchy? Hope you're doing well. Will, time for the show, baby. Chief Concerns. Hey, okay, baby. All right, I know Will's already in here. Of course, Will's in here. He knows Teja's going to be on tonight, so he's got to be on for his guy, Tej. Michael Kittle, what's up, buddy? Linda Hunter, what's going on, Linda? Optimistic James, my guy who had a very, I would say, maybe one of the bigger hot takes last week's episode on Wednesday, saying the Chiefs should draft a quarterback at number 9, which is, just crazy on so many levels. But Optimistic James, I love you, buddy. That was good stuff. Leroy Everett, Broncos concern. Man, I'll tell you one thing. Broncos and Chargers fans talked a lot of junk this year. And at the end of the day, they're sitting at home with us in the end and not playing for anything. So congratulations, Broncos and Chargers, for sweeping the Chiefs this year. But at the end of the day, disaster. You guys were disaster when it came down to the end of it. At the end of the day, they have a worse pick than us. We're probably going to be a top 5 favorite going into next year to win the whole thing. So, and we have a better pick at number 9. So, honestly, can't complain about it at all. Although I will say there was elements of me that kind of wanted to root for Stidham yesterday because, at the end of the day, like, Broncos fans, what are they going to say? They're going to continue to gloat about Bo Nix. Well, Stidham was the one who took you to the championship, but didn't happen in the end anyway, so whatever. But we're all at home now. All 4 teams in the AFC West are at home, and I got to say the Raiders and the Chiefs, they got paid out for having such a bad year at the end of it, getting the number 9, number 1 pick. So Michael Kittle. Will, about time. My guy, about time. What's up, buddy? It was good seeing you last week on the show. Always nice to put a face to the name. Hope you're doing well, my man. And also, too, again, I know I opened the show with this. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone, if you were impacted by the giant snowstorm that came pretty much everyone's way over the last few days, so everyone is staying warm. Everyone's got power, and obviously, if you're on here, you have power. People who are watching or listening, I hope you are staying warm because that's the thing. The snow's over, but it's like below freezing in many areas right now, and I don't know when the snow is going to melt. But, yeah, so I hope everyone's doing all right. Leroy Everett, we own the AFC West. We do. We own the AFC, not just the AFC West, but we own the AFC. Yeah. We beat you twice. Oh, it's a Broncos fan. It's funny. You guys just got dominated yesterday, and you're coming on here to talk about the Chiefs? That's interesting. Don't you guys have your own show, Leroy? Come on. For a moment there, I thought you were a Chief fan talking the Broncos, but now you're a Broncos fan on here. Hey, kudos to you for having the goal and the nuts to come on here, the cojones to come on the Chiefs show after just getting like walloped yesterday. A horrible fourth down decision. Stidham, I mean, Sean Payton was talking about him being like essentially a Pro Bowler. Well, yikes. And also it shows you how much better Bo Nix is than Jarrett Stidham. The fact that Stidham looked like dog crap with the quarterback guru that Sean Payton allegedly is. But yeah. About time. Seahawks. I got Seahawks too. Yep. Optimistic James. Fun fact: Marcus Tennessee Titans coach was Mike Vrabel whenever Arnold was the quarterback of the Jets. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%, buddy. Del Monte Green Beans. What's going on, man? Will Teja. Optimistic James. Who else is in here? It'll be interesting to see the Rays in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the Rays. I don't know what it was yesterday, but. Some snoozers. Well, I know the Rams-Seahawks game was not a snoozer at all. The NFC side was phenomenal. AFC was a disaster. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I will say, I've seen a lot of people saying that, like, games shouldn't be decided by the weather. It's like, where is this coming from? Like, I get Kurt Warner was one of the ones that said, like, it was a snoozer. But at the end of the day, like, it's football. Like, football should be outside. And I get it. People are saying, like, that's why the Bills and the Chiefs are going to get domes in their stadiums and stuff because they want to see like the actual best play and not be impacted by the weather. But I don't know, man. It's football. You take away the outdoor aspect of it, you are taking a big chunk away of the game. And I get it. People want offense, so but still, I find it odd that a lot of like big name people are coming out against like just the elements and the weather aspect of it. And JD's a big fan of the dome too, and I get when you have a quarterback like Mahomes, like the Bills situation, they have Josh Allen, they have good quarterbacks. They want to have a dome to be able to kind of show off their offense, and we saw this year even when in dome games, the Dallas game, for example, Mahomes was able to sling it in the dome, and I do love that. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel like taking away that from the game is kind of a disservice to what football is. Consider me old school, I guess, in that respect. Maybe it's the gray hairs taking over my brain, but I don't know. That's how I am. Can't root for the Broncos no matter the circumstance. I can't do it. Yeah, at the end of the day, I was rooting for the Patriots, but I wouldn't have been mad if Stidham took them because it would have just said, like, oh, well, Bo Nix ain't nothing. And Stidham for a little bit there looked pretty dang good through that bomb to Marvin Mims. Looked nice on that thing. And that was the furthest pass thrown by a Broncos quarterback this year, which I thought was hilarious. So, he did look decent. Michael Kittle, I was shoveling snow during 2 halves of the Donkeys game. Yeah, I was. I did it during the Rams and Seahawks game once the snow finally died down. Kevin Capel, Broncos had a week off. It's all season. Scoring 7 in the championship is par for the course. Losing the championship is the absolute worst end to any season. Yeah, it's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, we've done that to a lot of teams. In the Mahomes era, but hey, sucks to suck. We even have till you guys. We had Broncos fans, we've had Chargers fans come in our comments all season long. Even tonight, after a dismal performance by that team yesterday, you still have fans chirping in here, and it's like, guys, what are we doing here? Right? You guys had a solid season. You guys got stopped before getting to the Super Bowl. Okay, you can't come at us. At the end of the day, you can't come at us. All right. So I wish you guys luck, Broncos fans and Chargers fans, as we get to the offseason. Now, I know the Raiders fans are already thriving in the offseason. The number 1 pick, they're already talking about Mendoza. Still don't have a coach yet, but Yeah, I've read that Davis Webb might be their coach going forward. Looking at Davis Webb, I think Dayball and Joe Brady are the options, which is interesting because the reports last week were the Raiders were waiting for Clint Kubiak to come available, and it does not seem like that's going to happen because I think Schefter said Dayball, Joe Brady, and Davis Webb. Davis Webb, chief connection there. Davis Webb was the starting quarterback in Texas Tech when Mahomes was there. Mahomes ended up taking the job from him. Actually, Davis Webb ended up taking the job from Baker. Baker ended up transferring because of Davis Webb. Mahomes takes the job from Davis Webb. So interesting, 45 degrees of or 50 degrees of the Texas Tech football and Mahomes and the Davis Webb thing. So it'd be cool. Davis Webb being a head coach in the NFL in the same division as a quarterback that took his job from him. So, kind of already going all the tradition of Mahomes owning the Raiders. Mahomes also owns their starting quarterback too. So, hey, that's pretty cool. Gotta love that. The gift that keeps on giving, owning the Raiders in somehow, way, or fashion. Michael Kittle, it used to be played outside for a long time. And it takes away a lot. Yeah, it does. It really does. It's disappointing that that's the way they're going. The NFL's going. But I need to talk to JD about this because JD's been saying for a long time he wants to see he wants more stadiums to go to the Dome. But we need to talk to him about this because I don't understand what's going on here. Let's bring him on right now. There he is, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn joining us on this Monday morning tight end on this Monday evening. JD, how you doing, brother? Are you staying warm away from the snow?
I am staying warm. I am nice and cozy, holed up in my humble abode and enjoying sitting up here kicking the feet up. So, yes, sir.
Did you guys get hit hard by the snow or no?
Yeah, we did. We got nice ice, a little bit of I don't know how many inches we got. I don't think it's as much as they said it was going to be.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's going to be 7, 10 inches and 12, and it's not like that.
Yeah, they said 8 to 16. They said 8 to 16 for us, so we got 7 in the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we got, but I know it's nothing like that. And I kind of figured it wasn't going to be that way. A lot of people would, what was shocking to me, we have a Publix just right up the street from us. It just opened up. And I went into Publix, and it was some of the shelves was bare. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing. I'm like, what in the heck are we going through right now? And so for a guy like me who's lived in Philly, Jersey, Kansas City, I got a truck, man. I can move around when I need to. It wasn't gonna be a big deal. Shoot. We've seen these winters and stuff like that before. So we good over here. We're good over here. Plus, the cupboard has good food in it and plenty of it, and
you're stocked up.
You're stocked up. We need to be here for a few weeks, Marcus. We good.
Yeah.
Maybe a few months, baby. We straight. We all right. You know what I mean?
That's the benefits of having a Costco membership. There you go, right there.
There you go. Yes, sir. That's a fact, man. That's my spot right there, man. Costco. Love it.
Costco's great.
Yeah,
Costco's great.
Yeah. What about you, man? What y'all doing up here in DC?
So it stopped snowing around 7:00 last night. I ended up shoveling, getting the driveway all cleaned up last night because I wanted to get to it early on. But I didn't get to the end of the drive. The plows come, they kind of pack it into the end of the driveway.
Yeah.
So I left that for this morning when I woke up to it to finish off the job. But yeah, it was. I knew it wasn't going to be as much. They always, like you said, they always overhype it. It's going to be 16 inches. It's going to be crazy. The worst snowfall ever. And I was like, I've been through this song and dance. I've heard this song and dance many times. So I was like, okay, I'm going to think it's going to be less. And then it was. They said 8 to 16 inches. And I love that range, right? 8 to 16 inches. But it ended up being about 7. So not bad. But I will say it was pretty heavy snow because it's like ice. It's like pretty much all ice. So it was really thick and heavy. But was able to do that. A good workout, because the gyms were closed here. Everything was closed here. So that was my alternative to a workout at the gym, JD.
Okay. There you go. I tell you what, I didn't tackle any of that. So I did, I think the day before, cleared out a little bit and even took out the blower and did some of it. Today, man, we were chilling. That's it. Like Will
Oh,
said, man,
you have a snowblower?
No, we have what's the name? Leaf blower. And before it really started getting heavy, we leaf blowed a lot of the snow and stuff off. But yeah, I was looking at a little bit of that. I said, Susan, because Susan, she likes to go out there and try to show. I said, look, just leave it. It's gonna be fine. Some more's gonna come down here. We're gonna be all right. We'll be fine. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
So, JD, obviously, yesterday was the championship games, and there's been a big to-do about this, and this is what I was talking about before you got on. A lot of people said the weather pretty much impacted that Broncos and Patriots game. That's the reason why the game ended up going the way it went. And I think Kurt Warner even said it pretty much that like games, the weather shouldn't be impacting the outcome of these games. And obviously he's an offensive guy, quarterback, played the greatest show on turf, played in the dome. So like, obviously that's how he feels. But you've said it before that you wish that most stadiums would kind of go to the dome aspect of things. So to not let weather kind of affect it. For me, it's like, I get it, right? We have a great quarterback. So like, great. Yeah. Put us in a dome. That's fine. I'll let Patrick Mahomes play in a dome half the season.
Mm-hmm.
But as the old school football in me, and of course you play in the old school way of things, taking away the weather component of football across the board. I mean, I think it's kind of a sad thing because it's not saying it's taken away from the game. We've always had to deal with weather in football. But I guess like what I've heard a lot of the commentary today was like, I want to see both teams the best play in pretty much a good kind of setting, not being impacted by a blizzard or by winds or whatever. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you want most teams to go to the dome aspect of things, but when you hear Kurt Warner say that, I mean, you kind of agree with him on that?
Somewhat I do. For the simple fact, look, you fought hard the entire year. Getting to a place where obviously everybody has to play in the same conditions, but you want guys to be at their best. Is the safety a concern? Sure. I hate the slipping of guys falling down trying to get the ball. I do believe in some capacity because of the technology. You didn't have it back in the day, Marcus, to really get domes or retractable roofs and stuff. I think you should do some of that now. I think at a certain point, especially in the playoffs, it's more practical to have places that way. Now, look, if you want to carry on the tradition up until a certain point, I do agree. Okay. But if you're out there and you got the snow plow and a guy coming out there like a leaf blower, and he's trying to blow off your line, I was like, man, this is crazy stuff just to watch this. And so the outcome of the game, Broncos are like, we would have been a much better. Well, shoot, I could have seen, man, the Patriots and Drake May doing a much better job as well. And then also because what you look at now is when you look at the Seattle game and the Rams, and it's a totally different type of game. And so I actually hated watching the Denver and New England games because you couldn't even really move the ball. Yeah, it was like, man, nobody won't watch this slush fest out in the snow. Yeah, it looks great back in the day, and everybody got their shirts off and they're cheering and stuff like that. But man, you're putting people in jeopardy. That's the way I look at it. Here in Arrowhead, when we had, guys, getting frostbite and things of that nature, like there's no point in doing that. I think at this moment in time where we are, we should all try to adopt guys and families being protected, but also to the players, getting the best out of them. Why not? You're not going to play the Super Bowl in a place like that. So why do the playoff games in the same way?
Yeah.
Buffalo should go to, I don't know if they're going to get a retractable roof or not.
They are.
Or they should. They come on. And so part of that element, if you got to rely on that to be your advantage, are you that much better of a team? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I think Buffalo. So like, I forgot who it was. I was listening to the commentary today, but Buffalo, Kansas City, both teams are slated to go more towards a dome, right? And that, I know a lot of Chief fans are pissed off about that with the new stadium. And then Buffalo fans were initially mad about it, but like I guess kind of the rationale is like, look, like we have generational talents at quarterback. Put these guys in a neutral in a stadium that he's not going to be impacted by the weather. He can be able to, it's going to be whatever, however they want to, whatever the temperature is going to be in there, regulated to. But like, you're going to have your quarterback who's a beast, and you're going to be able to let him throw all day long in dome settings. Whereas that's going to be your advantage. Whereas the other teams who don't have Josh Allen or don't have Patrick Mahomes, they're going to have their normal quarterback going against these ungodly quarterback talent. So it's like it's out of this world kind of thing. And I get it. And that's to say, not forever, right? They're not going to have Josh Allen forever. We're not going to have Patrick Mahomes forever. So in 20 years' time, to be a different guy. But at the end of the day, you're seeing a best versus best. You're not letting the outside element kind of taint the outcome.
Yeah, right. Yeah, negate what a guy's skill set is. And so it looked miserable out there just watching these guys. And I felt for them. Like Mondre Stevenson trying to get yardages, and then Drake May was like, they both fail in the back. I was like, man, look at this. It's crazy. The field goal kickers missing everything because the elements just didn't agree with them. And so we're at a point now, like you said, I want to see the best of the best, even if you had to go to a neutral site, which I don't think you have to. I think everybody just needs to. I mean, how many other places do you have where you have to brave the elements? Cleveland's going to be one of those. Pittsburgh's another place. You could probably name them, right? Denver and obviously all the other places around here. But I mean, shoot, you should be able to get away from some of that stuff now.
Well, I find it funny, right? Because St. Louis and Kansas City, very similar climates, obviously in the same state, but like they had a dome. The Chiefs didn't, but St. Louis had a dome, and like that's the greatest show on turf was invented. Right? So like they were able to kind of have this high flying offense in St. Louis. Indianapolis Colts, very similar weather to Kansas City, but they had a dome. Peyton Manning was able to do what he did with them. So like, you have different types of teams, and over the years you kind of can correlate. Like, oh man, like look, high flying offense, dome. So I think it's obvious where that kind of connection comes.
Yeah, and I think right here, Will is sitting there saying, he said, if the Chiefs aren't in the dome, I'm not going to a playoff game. The weather is no joke. Going to sit at home, watching a heated room with fuzzy socks on, big TV, and then walk 10 feet to my bed after. Why wouldn't you? I mean, if you had to brave the elements and you had to pay for that. Yeah, I went out here and, this cold weather. I'm telling you, I've always said this. I think people are crazy. I said, man, look, I'm playing. If I wasn't playing in this weather, I wouldn't be out there. I said that all the time. Because I daggone sure would not go out to a game where the sucker's just snowing and whatnot. Not doing it, man. Hey, you could count me in, Will. You count me in. We'll call each other from our own living rooms and talk about the game, where it will be. Okay? And I have my little fuzzy slippers and stuff on and go make my food the way I want to, and I'll be all right. So, yeah, I think something's ridiculous right now, man. Nostalgia is where you go to. Nah, that's over now. It's over with.
Yeah, but you have the ability to do it. Why not do it? Add a retractable roof in there.
Yeah. So, plus just add money in your pocket. Shoot, why not? Nobody having fun just being cold. I've been out on the field. I'm telling you, and I've been one of those guys without sleeves and stuff on and try to tough it out. I've been one of those guys. And I've come back in after the game was over like, what are you thinking? And it takes me all night to thaw out. Can't even enjoy yourself really like you want to.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that Chiefs are going to the I know some fans might be pissed off about that, but it's a nice thing they're going to a dome, And I'm sure, Clark Hunt, I think he was sued by some of those fans who ended up going to that famous Dolphins-Chiefs game, who ended up getting frostbite. I think some of those fans actually sued the Chiefs for having a game in those conditions.
I believe it.
So, Clark Hunt's trying to save us. Doesn't want to get any lawsuits for fans going there without shirts on at a cold game like that.
Yeah. So my thing is, if you're sitting over, look, you have complete autonomy over your own body. Okay. Nobody's telling you come out there without the daggone shirt on. That's on you. That's just idiotic. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, how are you suing people for your stupidity? Okay. Like, come on, man. Like, you might just, hey, man, bag it up, get on out of here. It's not going to work. You ain't going to get paid for being an idiot. So
with the Seahawks Patriots, I think the line opened up as 4.5 points for the Seahawks, favored by 4.5 points. Who do you guys have in? I know there's 2 weeks for this game, but just off of what you saw yesterday, what you saw all season, who do you guys have in this really snooze fest of a Super Bowl? I'm going to say it's going to be probably one of the lower rated. I think so. I'm not energized to watch either one of these teams. I'm sure maybe sour grapes being a Chiefs fan and having to watch Super Bowl without us being in it, but I'm not really. I'm not really energized to watch Sam Darnold or Drake May. I mean, what we saw yesterday with that Patriots offense, and that it was pretty. Drake May 85 yards in that game.
Playoffs period, not just that game.
Yeah. The AFC side's been pretty rough to watch.
I had Seattle going to the Super Bowl, I think, at the first of the year. Definitely one of them. I'm a Sam Darnold. I'm a fan. I am.
Sam Darnold fan, but you're not a Baker fan, huh?
I'm not a Baker fan, no.
I don't know, JD.
No, listen.
Well, JD doesn't like Baker because of his personality. Sam Darnold doesn't have that kind of personality.
That's all. Yeah,
that's it, though? Oh, okay, so pure talent, you take Baker over Darnold?
No.
Oh, okay, so it's not just personality then.
No, it's just not personality. I just Baker, yeah, he rubbed me the wrong way with his arrogance. I thought he was overhyped. Donald, like I always thought he was a great quarterback. Always did. I just thought he was. Yeah, I mean, shoot, the man won a Heisman for a reason. The numbers he put up, man, he throws a great ball. I mean, he's. We always talked about how
he did lead the league in what turnovers this year.
He led the league in turnovers this year. Is that right?
I believe so.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm just talking about me personally. I'm a big fan of his. I've always thought
Darnold did.
Okay. I always thought he's a great quarterback. And I thought, for him being in the right position and the right team would work for him. When he came in, obviously, he's been on some bad teams, bad things happened to him. But I've always rooted for him. Seriously. I have. I've always been a big fan of his. And so not only that, I don't want to see anybody else from the AFC win. Somebody else said it up here, man. Look, I'm glad the Broncos is out of it. I'm glad they're out of it. And I daggone sure don't want to see New England win. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I'm rooting for Seattle for sure.
Yeah. So that's my thing. And then, the whole, Robert Kraft and them suckers up there, man. And,
Yeah.
Darnold had more turnovers than Geno Smith. Like, Geno Smith was passing that stuff out like a soup kitchen. You know how bad, you know how loose with the ball you had to be to have more turnovers than Geno Smith this season.
Yeah, he had some dud of a games this year, but I mean, nonetheless,
he did, and he was very safe for a while. But then he had did he have like a 6 interception game or something, or 5 interception game?
Four. It was against the Rams.
And I think he had a couple of fumbles in that game too.
Darnold never won the Heisman. He won the Archie Griffin Award.
Archie Griffin? He didn't win the Heisman. Who won the Heisman that year?
20.
Who won the Heisman that year?
I think Baker won the Heisman that year.
Whoa!
Pretty sure 2017 Heisman winner.
No, they didn't come out well.
I can't believe he's the first USC quarterback to be in the Super Bowl. How crazy is that?
2017 finalists Heisman's were from Baker Mayfield, Bryce Love from Stanford, and Lamar Jackson. Baker won it that year.
Yeah, they didn't come out the same year, though.
They did. Darnold and Baker came out the same year. Darnold, Baker, Josh Allen came out the same season.
You sure?
Josh Allen?
No, that can't be right, Marcus. That can't be right.
Baker, Darnold, and Allen came out the same year. That's why.
You sure? The reason I say this is because I know, like, Logan Woodside came out that same year, and they were talking about height, and Baker being a shorter guy. But I'm sure, no, they ain't. That can't be.
So he won the Heisman in 2017. Baker did. 2018 is a draft class that Baker and Darnold came out. Baker, Josh Allen, and Sam Darnold came out that same 2018 draft class. And that's why a lot of people are laughing about it, because Darnold's the first quarterback to go to the Super Bowl of that draft class over Josh Allen. Everyone wants to make him the king.
Josh Rosen too. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Josh Rosen. Wow. Yeah, and I believe Darnold started just 2 years, 2016 and 2017. 2016, he got the Archie Griffin Award. 2017 is the year that Baker won the Heisman.
Okay.
First USC quarterback in the Super Bowl. That's crazy, man.
Hey, man,
First USC quarterback?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
That is crazy. It is crazy.
More than I believe the stat was they've had more than any other school quarterback drafted. Yeah. And this is the first quarterback Super Bowl. Wow.
Shoot. I mean, you talk about Carson Palmer. They had some great ones, man. There's been some great USC quarterbacks. That you would think Carson Palmer, I thought he'd be like one of the guys who would get there.
Yeah.
He's another one. Like they always had like the prototypical guy, right? USC, QB. That was like that was, the best of the best. That's the guy that you wanted. Yeah. And you go get the little stubby dude from Oklahoma, old Baker Mayfield.
Hey,
I just
Baker went to Seattle this year and dominated Sam Darnold at Seattle this year. He just fell off after that game, though. But.
Well, he's home now. He's watching him.
Yes, he is.
That he is.
Hey, good domination. Great game. Hey, great game.
Hey, some could say, Baker that year they were together in Carolina, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield together. I think Baker, taught Sam a lot of stuff to carry with him into
They
Seattle.
were there together, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Who's that?
Baker and Sam Darnold were in Carolina together that one year with each other.
That's right.
Like who's more upset as a franchise, right? I had this conversation with my Jets fan friend. Mm-hmm. The Jets for not letting Darnold go. Minnesota for having Darnold after he got corrected and then letting him go again after he looked like the guy or one of the guys. Or Carolina, who had two quarterbacks who have started 8 playoff games the past 2 seasons. Man, brutal.
Minnesota's got to feel the worst because Minnesota was pretty much forced to let Darnold go because they drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round. Now we have to see this guy through.
They didn't have to, though. They really didn't have to.
A lot of assets for quarterback. You wasted a first round pick him, and then you're going to pay top 10 money.
Look at the Cardinals. They had Rosen. They cut bait because they're like, you know what? I don't know if he's the guy. Let's go.
He was. I mean, Rosen was kind of booty.
He was.
Yeah, they was ready to let him go. Hey,
he was doo-doo right away.
Yeah, we're gonna pay you to leave. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he was, but I guess jury's out on McCarthy. McCarthy's 5 games away from being duty.
That's true.
So, he might be.
Yeah, they just couldn't pay Sam though. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, but did Sam break the bank?
I think he's making top 15 money. Top 15.
Yeah.
Top of the half's not horrible.
No.
Still though, that's still a lot of assets. You're trying to keep Justin Jefferson happy and not having him demand trades. You have to make it look like you're spending money properly, spending your resources properly.
I mean, yeah, but trust me, if you ask Jefferson if he could have one quarterback this season, Darnold or JJ, I'm sure he would have said Darnold. If you want to make him happy, then you should have kept a better quarterback, not Mr. Mean Mug.
But I get that I'd be furious if I was a Vikings fan. You wasted a first round pick on a quarterback and then you paid one right out the gate. What are you doing? It's a mismanagement of resources if you do that. So I get why they do that.
Maybe, but if they're in the playoffs this year, no one would be complaining.
So here's even the contract. Sam Darnold's got a better contract than Baker Mayfield. So he's just right there, Marcus. Yeah. Hey,
Baker played on a veteran minimum for 1 year with the Buccaneers before they signed to that 2-year deal. He had to prove it. He proved it.
Yeah, he did because I thought it was going to be a bust. Hey, Baker, great win. Good win, buddy.
I wonder if the difference is Baker stayed with the team that gave him that starting job again. Darnold, that he didn't owe Seattle anything. It's a new team, right? So, I wonder if he would have signed for a little less in Minnesota.
That's not, that the reports I saw, that was not the case. He was not going to take a discount with Minnesota. That's why, that was also the reason why he just ended up going to Seattle, the highest bidder.
Yeah,
interesting.
He had a great
that
year.
money. Oh, he's the grandson of one of the first Marlboro men. You know that, JD?
I knew it was something. Is that right? Was that what it is? Okay.
Wow.
I knew
His
it was some type
His
of.
name is famously Dick Hammer.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
Jeez. That's
Yep.
funny. That I didn't know that at all. Well, so JD's a big Darnold fan. I didn't know that about you, JD. That you were a big Darnold guy.
I am. Yeah. I always have been.
So how shocked are you that Darnold is of that 2018 class with Baker, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Darnold, Josh Rosen? How surprised are you that he's the first one to make a Super Bowl or get to a meaningful game of that group? Because I'm not necessarily saying Baker should have been the first one there. I mean, it should have been Lamar or Josh Allen, but the fact that Darnold's the first one. And I think his story's cool because of the Carolina, because of spending 1 year in San Francisco, because of going to Minnesota and kind of rebranding himself. I think that's cool. And not to say that he's a reason why they got to the Super Bowl, but the story of kind of the ups and downs of the league and, kind of withstanding all that and getting to the Super Bowl. I think it's awesome.
Wait a minute. Hold on. He's not the reason they got to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm saying he's
not the reason.
They have a great.
Oh, JD, come on.
Seriously.
If Darnold had a meltdown in that game, they'd be talking about replacing him already.
Listen, the man. I didn't know if he led the league in turnovers, and it's all based off of maybe a couple of games where he had like really bad turnovers some game. If you look at him, I mean, shoot,
I had him in like 2 fantasy leagues, so it's gonna be a tough sell. It's gonna be a tough sell for me, man. You're not gonna. I was with that guy game by game. Okay, I know Sam Darnold real well. We're boys. Okay, I was fighting ghosts with him.
So,
I think Darnold's a serviceable quarterback. I think it's a serviceable quarterback. I think he's probably top 10, 15 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl already if he does win it. But I think he's a serviceable. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's in that Baker range.
So I'm gonna send this to you. He's one of the top as far as quarterback efficiency in 2025.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean he started off the first like 7 weeks like on a crazy pace.
So my thing is he is part of the reason, absolutely why they are where they are. No doubt about it. He's
a factor.
I mean, look, it's a team sport. Okay. I mean, we got to look for what it is. But the thing is, if you listen to other people talk about Sam Darnold doing the things that he's doing, throwing the football, the accuracy that he's had, that's what he's always been known for. He's never been a question about his arm or his accuracy whatsoever. Like anything, he throws a pretty ball, and it's really usually it's on point. And so, I would say so. I mean, they got some good receivers, obviously, good running back, tight ends. They do everything right. They got a great defense. I think Reid, you said something about Reid too, which I was worried about Reid as well. Like, why didn't Reid work out with us when he was here?
Yeah.
You know
what I'm saying? I know.
I was like, that's a good question. I
don't know, man. It's weird. It's really weird. He's like a factor force over there. I would say JSN. Yes. I would say JSN is their number one factor. I'd say the depth in their D line and the fact that they run like 6 deep, and those guys they don't get tired because they're not overused. I'd say their offensive scheme, I think is really good. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I picked them. I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl, but when we played them in preseason, I was like, dude, Seattle's going to be good, man. They have a lot of young talent. I kept hearing names I loved in the draft. I was like, dude, they have a young, really good team. They were running down our throats in that game with whoever was behind the line. Yes. I was like, dude, is our run defense? I remember this. I was like, is our run defense this bad, or are they this good? So they have a lot of good things going for them, and they got the right quarterback for their system. It's like Louis Riddick was saying about Eamon Murray, the safety. He's like, you couldn't have, because I loved Eamon Murray coming out, but you could not have picked just a better fit in like play style and defensive scheme. Like that's just a marriage made in heaven, like for a football player and a scheme. So
if you look at what they offensively, their scheme, is something that when I'm watching it, and you're right, Teja, when we watch this preseason, I'm just like, we have no answer whatsoever for this wide stretch zone that they were running.
Killed us that game.
Killing us. And it was, 13 personnel. That was another thing, too. The tight ends were just manhandling our guys. Linebackers and everybody. And they was getting open, catching the ball. I think their first, if I'm not mistaken, their first 4 or 5 plays was that stretch zone. Then he ran a boot a couple of times. I'm just like, wow.
And their PA killed us.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, daggone. That's all it took?
Yeah.
Yes. And they just let their running backs find lanes. That was it. So I love their scheme, what they absolutely ran. Getting Shaheed up there too helped them out tremendously.
Yeah.
But man, I did. I had them getting there. It was so on the NFC side, I had Seattle was one, Green Bay was another team, and I think the third one might have been the Eagles. That was the three teams I thought might have been up there. Didn't have the Bears anywhere near it, not even close. Everybody else I thought were just kind of pretenders. On the AFC side, I obviously had the Chiefs, but I thought what's name was going to be great too. Indianapolis, I thought they were going, and for a while they were doing well until
they were doing well.
Yeah, the Jones got hurt, and it kind of changed everything.
Yeah, it shows you that Vrabel, great football coach, man. To do what he did with Tennessee, and then the fact that no one hired him last year, then he ends up going and coming to New England. I mean, it's just he's done a great job there.
Great fit too. Another good fit of organization and coach mentality. The Patriot way, whatever you want to say about it. It's like it worked out really well. It's really good fits out there. You just got to find it. I mean, look at Darnold himself, man. Darnold, just him and the Jets. Like my Jet. I was kind of rubbing it in. I was like, "How mad are you? Darnold's going to the Super Bowl right now." He's like, Darnold never would have became this in the Jets. It just wouldn't have happened.
No.
He needed to go somewhere else. He needed to go somewhere, and it allowed him to become, who he became.
Well, look at the Jets. They haven't even been relevant since, drafted him. To be honest with you, they haven't.
No.
I mean, the only time they thought about when they seen AR-15 come out with the American flag, and all of that got
like an 8-minute window of being like, okay, there's some hope here.
They're crazy. Hey man, I was like, yo, that looks little suckers right there, man, on fire. And then all of a sudden, the Achilles. I was like, it is over.
The highlight of the the Jets season was Aaron Glenn doing that dance after he thought they won.
That's true.
And then win that game. It was like an 8-second peak. It's all downhill from there. That sucks, man.
It was good vibes for a second there, though. That was
it was
hilarious.
Fun. It was a fun 35 seconds.
All right. Well, so tonight's episode, last 2 weeks we've gone into defensive line, running backs last week, and this week we're going to take a sneak peek behind the curtain of the Chiefs' wide receiver situation, which we have mentioned on the show as a kind of a pretty a need for us as far as only having 3 receivers going into next year. And we do have a little bit more than that. Today, actually, it brought back Jason Brownlee on a reserves contract or future contract. So we'll talk about that as well. So yeah, guys, let's dive into our wide receiver review for the 2026 offseason. So let's take a look at this. It was fun looking at some of the names on here, but let's first begin with our free agents, the guys who are going to be free agents heading into this offseason. So Hollywood Brown kind of leads the way here. Juju Smith-Schuster becomes a free agent again. Tyquan Thornton, a very familiar name in the show. Teja's wide receiver 1 if we let him run the offense. And Nico Remigio rounds out our free agency class, the 2026 offseason. Guys, when you look at the names on this list, I know all these guys have their own kind of attribute here. I know JD and I have talked about Hollywood Brown was probably maybe our best all-around receiver from this our Chiefs receiver room. Juju Smith-Schuster, our best blocking receiver, did the dirty work out there. Tyquan Thornton, best deep threat. I know Teja was a huge fan of what he saw from Tyquan Thornton, and a lot of Chief fans, that's a name they want back this year. And Nico Remigio was pretty much our return man. Had a very underwhelming season. Not one that, wasn't the best for Nico Remigio. But when you look at this wide receiver room, the guys who are free agents, who do you want back, and what do you think's the likelihood that we might see maybe one or two of these guys back in Kansas City in 2026?
For me, this is a good group of guys. They are. I think these guys, these four here, understood what it means to put in your work, effort, and all those different things. Nico worked hard to get on the roster. I think he did that and accomplished it, and all of a sudden he just kind of fell off on the return game, which didn't help him at all because that was really his end. That was going to be his end, his return, and just didn't work out this year for him. Taekwon, because of his deep ball proficiency, is a good weapon for us. I like Taekwon coming back. Price point for him is not going to be that much. So I'd like to have him back. I agree with you. I feel like our best receiver for me this year, this is my own opinion, I thought Hollywood Brown was probably the most solid guy we had, for the simple fact that he has an extensive route tree. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He can get open. He can go deep, short, catching the ball short. I think he's an epitome of like your pro guy. If you're looking for somebody else to step up to make plays, he's the guy that's going to do it. If your number one's not going to do it, or your number two, he's usually like your number two guy. And Hollywood Brown's been doing it since he's been in the league. Juju, because of what he brings to the table, man, is just his hard hat lunch pail, man. He's just a hard worker. He's a guy that was sneaky good, caught the football really well this past year. But he's kind of on the older side. But Juju's not, he's not that old. He's like 28 or something, isn't he? He just seemed like he's been in the league for about 15 years.
Yeah, it feels like
29 now, right?
Juju is 29.
I feel like he was stuck at 28 for like 3 years.
Yeah, 29.2. He just turned 29.
Okay. But he's another one of those, man. He's a hard worker. I like his work ethic, everything about Juju. I think he just puts his head down and goes to work. So all these guys, man, are just good guys, good, solid guys. But for me, like I said, man, Hollywood Brown, and then Taekwon, and then Juju.
Teja, your thoughts? We know, if you guys watch the show, we know you are Taekwon Thornton's biggest fan. You're the co-chair of the Taekwon Thornton fan club. Where do you, as far as priority wise, how badly do you want Taekwon Thornton back? I'm looking at the cap numbers here. They don't even have a projection of what his number would be. I don't think he's gonna get paid a lot in this market based on the spot. Spot doesn't have a number for him. They have it for Hollywood Brown, which I thought was interesting. They have his market value about $5 million.
Okay, yeah.
For Hollywood, about $5 million a year for his market value. Which honestly, we have three guys on the roster. You bring back Hollywood Brown, you bring back Taekwon Thornton. I'd say honestly, run it back with the same guys. Really, I wouldn't mind that. But where's Taekwon Thornton fall as priority list, and guys like Hollywood Brown? Where do you want them back?
I want them back on friendly deals. I would like I'd like Thornton back for sure. I would take Hollywood back. Juju, I think we need some new blood in here. Remigio, his main focus here was supposed to be returning, and we went elsewhere at the end of the year. So I think that kind of tells you about his fate. Yeah, I think we need to kind of find a young Juju type is what I think. I think Taekwon's great for situational deep routes. I would bring Hollywood back, but I still want, we're about to get onto that soon, but I want another young receiver here.
JD, as far as what Juju does bring, he kind of brings a grittiness to the wide receiver room. And I know a lot of people, he's a fan favorite, of course, because he's 2 stints with the team. Do you think the production he brings and what he brings to the team, that's something that you can find elsewhere, be it the draft or free agency, where like Teja said, bringing in a younger guy who you can find that in the draft who's more of a rookie type, not a guy who's, kind of in the twilight of his career, so to speak?
You know what? You can. And it's really just kind of a will and a want to. It should mean something to you to be a blocker for guys. That's what Juju, I think he made a lot of his money these past couple of years because he was willing to do the dirty work. But if you got a guy who is hungry, who is young, that understands like what it means and what it takes, you could definitely find that maybe in the draft, free agency. And it comes out on film. Some guys you don't even have to tell to do that. They just got it automatically. Like I said, I always keep going back to this, man. But Al Saunders, when he used to tell the guys greatest show on turf, came up into Kansas City, he said, look, we will score 10 more touchdowns, 10 or 12 more touchdowns if wide receivers block for our guys. And that was a fact. You see guys out there blocking. I remember it was really kind of, you got to teach these guys this. Eddie Kinnison, Johnny, and those guys, Chris Horn, you name it. Bo Richter, any guy that got out there as a wide receiver, man, they would turn around and find work immediately. Immediately. You go block for a guy. That's what it was all about. And Al, he emphasized that probably every single day. We'd get in like 7-on-7. We'd talk to guys. And on the team, he was just like, look, block for your guys. He's out there fighting for his life. You need to be out there doing that. And what I've seen this past year, Marcus and Tage, I've seen a lot of standing around for wide receivers. I've seen a lot of guys, I'm open, and stop running their route. Well, shoot, your guy's back there fighting for his life. Go ear-hell this sucker if you need to. Put your hands on somebody. Now, obviously, Juju got a couple of bad holding calls, but, at least he's trying to get the job done. And these younger dudes need to understand that, man. It's just, it's a will and a want to. Like, we pay you for more than just catching the football. And I was telling people, like, man, this the reason they had maybe Sky was out here. The reason like Sky, because Sky was doing some of that extra work. Yeah, he wasn't going to catch a lot of footballs. Yeah, he might be dropping some, but at least go out there and the coach is like, well, shoot, he's going to go and fight for a guy at least when he's out here, trying to make a couple extra yards. So it's heart, man. I love Juju's heart.
Do you think that having Chad O'Shea is going to, because I saw someone in the chat saying having O'Shea there with some of these young guys, he'll whip some of these guys into shape, doing the dirty work stuff where you don't need to have a Juju be that guy. You can have Chad O'Shea kind of coach these guys up and kind of get them to be that kind of guy who's, not giving up on plays, blocking downfield, just doing the little things as, he's a veteran coach. He's been around. He's seen a thing or two over the years. Do you think that has an impact on these guys having him around?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Like I said, Chad O'Shea started with us. So he got that message from Al. 3 years he was with us. So Chad knows exactly what it means. And I'm telling you, this is like wide receiver coaches, like you become and you pull off from great coaches and you adopt all these things yourself, right? When your own philosophy in coaching. And so Chad would see these things happen. So that's why he was able to go to other places and guys were doing great. Shoot, if you look at New England, those wide receivers, them little suckers go out there and start blocking for people. Yeah. So definitely, Chad he's gonna change that around. And he'll let guys know, like, look, your only job is not to look pretty and catch footballs and run routes. Your job is also go block for your fellow guy and your teammate. That's what those things are all about. And so if guys ain't willing to do it, man, they're not going to play. Or you're not going to get as much playing time. So Chad to make sure, man, we're going to knock down some of these egos, okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to start from scratch. Who's the guys that want it? How long you want to try to do it for? And doing it at a high level? And at this point, this is part of what it means to be a pro. Chad is going to make sure that that's going to be his philosophy. And these guys they'll learn it real quick. I'm telling you, he's not playing games. He's not.
Love hearing that. I really do. I'm excited to see O'Shea. And I think, like, I've never seen a positional coach, like a wide receivers coach, get more hype than Chad O'Shea's gotten from our fan base, and the outpouring of love towards him. It speaks volumes about his, his background, and also hearing you talk about him. You played with him, or he was your coach on that staff back in the day. So it's really cool to see that. And also too, Gronk talked about him, and a lot of these other Patriots receivers have talked about what he was able to do for them in their careers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So $5 million a year for Hollywood Brown. That's what SpotTrack has it at. JD, would you pay Hollywood? Is $5 million would you go Hollywood Brown there? $5 million?
I would. I definitely would. Because something happens to Rice or Worthy. I mean, he's your guy, and he showed that last year. When both of them guys are down, who was catching the majority of the balls? Hollywood.
Yeah.
Over the cap has Tyquan Thornton's at 3.1.
Oh man, I mean, I signed both of them back at $8 million total. Yeah. I would love to have both of them back. That's a steal.
Yeah.
You don't have. I know we're gonna get it, but we don't have a bad room. Looking at the guys, I know you better get into who we have. So
we can transition to that right now.
Okay.
So this is the wide receivers currently on our team. One of the guys I've never heard of before, but this is our group: Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals, Jason Brownlee, Jimmy Holiday, friend of the show, and Andrew Armstrong, a big man out of Arkansas, who I think we signed recently over the last few weeks. But yeah, that is our receiver room as it stands. So JD, the floor is yours, man.
All I was going to say is I don't think we have a bad group of guys that we have here in the room already. We just got to get Rashee Rice back on track, Xavier back on track. Jalen Royals, obviously, we heard a lot of good things about him. So him coming in with fresh legs, he's going to add on to what we do. And the rest of the guys, Brownlee, Holiday, and Armstrong, those guys are going to have to fight for the roster spot. And so if you're sitting there saying Rashee, Xavier, Jalen, and then you talk about bringing Tyquan, Hollywood Brown, that's 5. And then another one of these guys, that's 6. So it's going to be between Brownlee and Holiday, I think, to bring that in. We didn't have a bad room last year. We just shoot. We underachieved.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think Andy Reid at a press conference there where he kind of talked about the offense as a whole, and he said going into Thanksgiving that we had one of the best, most explosive offenses in the league, and we did. I mean, scoring wise, our yards, so the advanced metrics, a lot of the advanced metrics has as a top 3 offense. And yeah, for the people who want to scrap and say we looked like trash all year long, no, our offense metric wise and statistically was a top flight offense for a good while there. Yeah, we couldn't run the ball, but could you imagine if we could run the ball with how our passing game was going? I mean, it would have looked phenomenal. But nonetheless, you're right, JD. What our offense was last year, the guys we did have in the receiver room, it wasn't a negative for our team at all.
No.
I did see some bad metrics on us beating man, our receivers beating man consistently. I'll have to find them again. I was trying to look for them just now, but we did have some trouble with that. But I mean, I think anyone we go for now needs to be a man beater and a zone reader. So we need to complete. We talked about that for a long time. We have a lot of guys who do certain things well. We don't have a guy who does everything, right?
So I think some of that stuff, like running man, depends on what routes you're running to, right? I don't think we put these guys in position to win on certain things, certain routes, and that's part of our problem. I think we went very extensive on some of the things that we were running. Route combinations, 4 guys. And I think we relied too much on part of that scramble drill, right? Get open, find you a window, that type of deal, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is you start seeing guys that kind of sit and wait am I supposed to run this, or am I supposed to do this? Or if I'm not running at the right depth. when I start watching some of these guys that actually was winning on man, and I'm sure it's probably on the metrics on here for what they had, but certain guys would definitely win on man. Out routes, they look great. You know, like those deep outs look well. All those things look pretty good. But then you start looking like bench routes, you know, sevens and whatnot. Are guys sticking, do it at the top of the route to get open? And some of those things I didn't really see. I seen Hollywood Brown doing some of that. Why? Because Hollywood Brown has been in the league for a long time. He knew how to get open on some of those things on man. Tyquan Thornton was just outrunning guys. And so the deep balls with him, he would just stack receivers or corners. And so when he stacked guys, he was just beating them. So there was a lot of things there also too. Then Pat missed some guys. He just be truthful. That was just missing guys too. So
I don't even know what this is. A help score. It was posted today. Mahomes had the lowest help score in the NFL. I'm not sure if that's run game or if that's receiver help. But yeah, he had the lowest, like lower than Gabriel and Sanders.
Is he talking this overall cast around him?
Yeah, it's help score. I'm sure that's running backs. I'm sure that's
it's a combination. So help score, it's an advanced metric designed to analyze how players are assisted or supported by their team's scheme, offensive system, or their teammates. So it's like a combination of a lot of things.
Who was this from? Who was that coming from?
FTN?
I don't know.
For the numbers.
Okay.
It's like fantasy football metric. Fantasy football derived metrics. Yeah, it was a bunch of interesting ones, actually. It supports a lot of the good numbers, but it also low help score, scramble rate, highest in the NFL last year.
But that's scramble rate. That's more so from offensive line breaking down and having to escape.
Or just Pat.
That's that too.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of those things kind of tie in, though, right? I think not getting help forced him to scramble a bit. So, yeah.
So obviously we're looking at this Rashee Rice, Worthy Royals, and then you say we bring back Thornton and Hollywood. That's about 5 guys right there. And you said it would be between Brownlee and Jimmy, and then that's also not even taking into account who we may draft or who may bring as far as free agency wise. But if you were to tell me we're going into the season with Rice, Worthy Royals, Hollywood, and Thornton going into next year, I'm totally fine with that receiver room.
No question.
Are there things that need to be polished up and refined? 100%. We watched.
Wait. What room are you okay with?
The wide receiver room.
Yeah. Who? Say it again.
Rice, Worthy, Royals, Thornton, Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fine with that? Well, you want Mekhi Lemon and you'll be happy? I mean, what do you want?
There's a lot of questions, dude. I mean, we don't even know if Rice is going to be on this team 2 years from now. So our best receiver might not be with us in 2 years.
Are you talking from a potential suspension aspect? Or are you talking from the contractually?
Contractually.
Oh, okay.
Is Rice someone that we're going to invest in long term? At this point, I like Rice a lot. You know that. Do I think we're going to invest a 4-year contract into Rice? Does he deserve that? Right now? No. So our number one receiver might not be with our team after next year.
So
I don't know if that is. I mean, yeah, for a 1-year fix for a plug and a couple 1-year deals to do the trick, sure. That leaves no future reassurance for me, at least.
So would you're drafting a guy, right? And I think that you draft a guy, maybe a couple guys.
Yeah. I think it depends on how they view Rice. I think we'll learn a lot about how they feel about Rice in the future too. If we go out and we invest that ninth overall into a receiver, especially one that kind of has a Rice-ish place on the field, then it's going to tell you real quick how they feel about Rice's future.
Well,
but yeah,
I think even if you get a guy in the draft, man, somebody that you know is going to be able to come in and play anyway, because you just never know. You just never know. So why not get a guy ready? And so if he's somebody that you can develop, when you got this experienced coach that can develop young guys that you can get something out of to be a number 1 and number 2 guy. I mean, I'm all for it. Why not?
Yeah. I would hope Rice is a choir boy this season because his contract's coming up, and guys tend to not cause trouble on or off the field in their contract years. I mean, heck, even Pickens got together this year. I didn't see him throwing a lot of tantrums on the field. I mean, he had a couple of questionable stories with him, like not wanting to go back in or something. So he couldn't help himself. But hopefully Rice is just a model citizen. And at the very least, yeah, like someone said, you franchise him and you trade him if you have to. But that would be, a good problem to have if we have too many guys and we're like, you know what, we can't invest all this into the room. So, I think it's interesting. That's why I want a guy who can do it all, right? That way you're not saying, oh, we already have a guy who plays power slot with Rice. But then again, like, is Rice going to be here after this next season? So, do you set yourself up for just the best Mahomes option, or do you set yourself up for just a guy who could possibly replace someone that we have who we don't have a lot of faith in?
I think you got to have a guy that's going to come in and replace. The approach always has to be that somebody's not going to be here, and if it's something that he's just doing is blowing you out of the water, then you invest in him. But that will still leave somebody else. I don't know if Jalen Rose is that guy, so. He's a great support cast, a great support piece. I think the guy that you need to unlock is Xavier Worthy more than anybody else.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you unlock his ability and he can run some great routes, I think that changes things for what you do offensively. I think Xavier Worthy is the key. Don't just make him a gimmick guy. Make him like he ran some great out routes. He was able to get open. But he was limited in some of the route running we was giving him. The guy's got blazing speed, and you get him to understand, right, awareness, situational awareness, but also to where you're at on the field and stuff. He gets that this whole offseason. He's going to be dangerous, man. He's going to be dangerous.
Well, ideally, if all these guys are working out, good dudes, model citizens, no more problems.
Mm-hmm.
As is, you'd have Worthy at Z, Rice power slot, and then you want like an X, right? You want like the dude playing X, right? Ideally, if you're not looking to replace anybody, if you're not in a room with Veach and be just like, guys, let's get the elephant out of the room right now. We're not going to re-sign Rice. Let's start looking for his replacement now. That basically power slots open for business. If they're not saying that and they're just looking for a guy to complement who we have in the room, then you're looking at the dude who plays X. Is that pretty much like? What do you think?
I think if you're going to do with X with a guy, I think your main guy has to be Rashid Rice. I think Rashid should have played outside more than what he did. Now, I like, having Rashid on the inside, throwing slants to him because he catches the ball. He has strong hands. But Rashid Rice could do a whole lot more. When you see him catch kind of some deep balls and some of the things he ran on the outside, some of the back shoulder throws and whatnot, I'm like, shoot, this is what Rashid Rice can be. He can be that guy. He can. He's big. He's strong. I would have him as more like kind of your X receiver. You could pretty much run anybody kind of in the slot. We kind of have slot guys that can kind of do it. It's all about how you want to set up your defense. This is really what it's based off of. And the only thing about that is because we don't really have like the traditional guys Like we're not looking at like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at guys or, Puka and Devontae Adams. But you can make those guys that. It's just our offense hadn't really been that, Teja. You know what I'm saying? It just hadn't really been that. It's been more gimmicky. Guys get open and, scramble drill. Now all of a sudden,
figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah. But we know Pat's going to extend, and once he extends, he's going to make a crazy throw and all of these different things. And, well, yeah, what happens to your supporting cast when you're not running detailed routes? You're not looking to get somebody 15 at comebacks. You're not looking at those anymore. And so some of those traditional routes, I say, the route tree has gone away from us. It really has. And that's what I think we need to get back to. Some of the timing routes. When you start looking at it, that's kind of what traditionally, when you look at offenses, are built on. Jigba ran a route, man. He ran an out route. Oh, my gosh. In the game yesterday, that was so clean, setting the corner up. And the corner didn't have a chance. Sam Darnold got the ball to him late. He was so open that Sam was sitting – Jig was sitting there waiting like, hey, man, throw the ball to me. But he ran and stealed him inside and just was so smooth coming out of his break. When you look at guys like that who just run textbook routes, that's what you're hoping for. That's what we can do. We just don't do it. We just don't do enough of it. And hopefully that's going to change. Hope we don't have to rely on Pat scrambling anymore. Why? Hey, we got to get away from that because Pat hurt his ACL. We can't rely on his legs anymore like we did in the past. Okay, we need to get him throwing some timing routes, getting the ball out of his hands. His guys getting open. And man, yes, let's emphasize this. We got to win against man. Rashid Rice, you're a big receiver. Win against man. Okay, Xavier Worthy, you're a big receiver. Win against man. You got speed. Set them up. Tyquan Thornton. Man, Hollywood Brown, man, Jalen Royals, man, that should be the emphasis. If we were deficient this past year in beating guys in man, is it scheme wise and we need to change that up, or do our guys got to get better running against man coverage?
And we looked at a lot of the film this year, and I remember, obviously there was stories about how defenses knew we were running based on our body language out there. And then also we looked at Rashid Rice. Talk about, just ignoring the route tree, some lazy slant running out there. How are you going to beat man if you can't run a slant like the way you should be running a slant route? But no, he knew he wasn't getting the ball. He wasn't the first read on it. So he was just lazily running off the line. So a lot of that stuff, I'm not pointing to Conor Embry because these players are their own people, right? And they're the ones running the routes, not Conor Embry. But having Chad O'Shea out there, a guy who's been around the block, will be on their butts. I know everyone was talking about EB being everyone's ass. Well, Chad O'Shea will be that guy.
Both of them. Because, the reason you run the route as hard as you possibly can is part of it is to influence the defense. And if you're not running it at full speed, you're not doing your job. You are not doing your job. And that needs to be emphasized. I'm sorry. Look, run the slant like you're trying to win. It may come back to you. But if you just kind of lackadaisically come off the line of scrimmage, that ain't going to cut it. That is not going to work. Somebody should have been up there turning over tables. Like, what is this? Is this what we paid for? We got you right here. You won top picks for this? This ain't going to cut it. You think this is okay? Anybody in here thinks this route is okay? I'm telling you, man, they're going to get some of that youngness out of them is what's going to happen. Time to mature, man. Time to play.
One comment I've seen a lot in the chat, and I'm just curious what you guys' thoughts. Usually in the offseason, Mahomes is able to work out with these guys, gain rapport and chemistry with these guys in Texas, do his own little 7-on-7 camps or whatever he does with them. It's not going to be the case this year. It doesn't seem like with his injury because he'll be coming back around training camp time. Is that going to be a hindrance on a receiver room? And does that also add to the fact you want to bring in receivers you've already worked with Pat before? You want to bring back Tyquan. You want to bring back the Hollywood Brown because they've already been around. They've been with him for a season or more. That probably prompts them to want to bring back guys who Pat's already been with. So there is not that kind of disconnect of not having to rapport with those guys.
I think Pat did that. He adopted a lot of that, man. He's just ahead of the game. You don't see a lot of teams doing what Pat was doing. There are a lot of guys not coming to where Josh Allen was to come and catch footballs. Guys wasn't doing that, man. They had their own thing, and then you see them doing, obviously, if they're in the building and they come in during that time, yeah. But Pat was like, he made it a point. Come down here to Texas. I'm going to be. We're going to get us some good work in. So because he was head of the game, I don't think he's going to lose too much of that. Like you said, Marcus, it's a very good point. The guys that he has rapport with, yes, let's keep these guys here. They know what to expect out of Pat. They know what his ball looks like. And so when he comes back, you know, whatever it looks like for OTAs, if he's able to do a little something, maybe just kind of stand there and let some balls go. He's not getting his drops or anything. He just let the ball, just throw it, see how it looks. But this is why Chad O'Shea is so important to emphasize, like Teja was saying, work on your craft now, okay? We got to be that much better for Pat. We got to be that much better for Pat this year. What we did last year is not enough. That's not okay. We let him down, and what we did, that product we put out on the field was not good enough. That is not Chief standard football. It isn't. And so we trying to set a new standard here. This is where it has to be. And so when we're sitting over saying working on your craft, I'm talking about guys getting serious about everything that you do, how you carry yourself when we come in here. So whether that be in meeting rooms, understanding the intelligence of football IQ, how do you get open, how you set guys up, all those things got to be important. That's got to be emphasized during this all season. It has to be. That work starts in the classroom, first off, okay? Number two, what is your body going to look like in the weight room? Are you getting that type of work in? That's what we need to understand. Is your mental right to understand, like you said, look, I want everybody to be clean, okay? No more shenanigans. I don't want to hear nothing out of anybody. Nothing. And if we do, then we need to talk about your future here. That's the way it needs to go. So,
yeah. Going to be a big offseason for sure to see how this room kind of grows. You know, Worthy talking about, you know, getting the weight room, getting thicker. And we talked about Brashard Smith needs to get in the weight room. Worthy, another guy who kind of needs to continue to add on weight. And you did see a year one, a year two, a full offseason program. He did get thicker, not thicker, but, you know, he got some more mass. Royals, a year in the NFL, one more year to kind of get to learn the playbook and do whatever he has to do to get on the field more, because I think everyone was waiting to see him. And also, too, talk about this now. Receivers, free agents. And we talk about guys that have rapport with Mahomes, and that would be why you want to bring back Tyquan. That would be why you want to bring back Hollywood Brown. But there's another guy there's a report that came out this past week. We talked about him recently on the show. He's been a topic on the show for many, many years, for when he was on the squad and when he was not on the squad. Tyreek Hill. Talk about guys who know and have rapport with Mahomes. That's a guy whose name's not on here because he's not a free agent right now. But the report came out a couple of days ago that the Dolphins will part ways with him this offseason, and will save a lot of money by doing so, being a post-June 1st cut. Obviously, he's not on this list, Tyreek Hill, but like, if Tyreek Hill was a free agent right now, would he be at top of the list as far as guys you'd want to sign from this free agency class? I know a lot of Chief fans are really big on Alec Pierce. I'm not an Alec Pierce fan at all. But would Tyreek Hill top the list for you as far as a realistic guy to bring back to Kansas City if he was a free agent right now going into this offseason?
I'd say sign me up. I would. Shoot. Sign me up. And I think
100%.
Yeah.
This list doesn't excite me at all. I'd rather re-sign our guys than take these guys on.
You don't see anybody on there that you could say, who's your top? Give me top three on here, Tej. I got my top three on here.
I mean, I'd rather for the money, I'd rather have Thor than Pierce. For the money, Pierce is gonna get like $24 million this year, 18 to 24 million. You tell me you'd rather have Pierce for 18 and 24 million than Thornton for 1.5, 3 million? God, he's not 20 million better than him.
No, I don't.
If Thornton was running those routes for the Colts all year as a full-time player, Thornton would have had like 900 yards and like 8 touchdowns. Okay, like it's about usage for a lot of guys and volume. Thornton had a good season considering he played like minimal snaps for us. That's one. I'm out of the Pierce game. Juwan Jennings, I like his game. I couldn't think of a worse guy to bring onto this team right now for a terrible influence on other receivers. He gets into fights every game. He's the guy who kicks someone and grabs someone in the nuts. Is he someone that hit someone in the nuts after a game?
It was the Carolina game, I believe.
2 or 3 games in a row where other teams wanted to fight him, and they just said, like, you can't. What he does, man, he's just a bad dude. I don't want him anywhere near this team. Speaking of not wanting anyone near this team, Pickens, please. Once that guy gets paid, I mean, what happens next? I have no clue. No, I don't know. Debo's a gadget guy. I mean, I don't know if we need that at this point. I mean, we get Worthy touches in the backfield. We get Rice touches in the backfield. I don't think we need a Debo kind of guy. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't. This doesn't excite me at all. Tyreek Hill will be number 1 with a bullet for us. We love going to guys that have been here before. So that's, I mean, one thing he has over everybody here besides like the most talent and speed is he doesn't have to adapt to our playbook. Like he's done. And that's one thing we hate doing with guys. We hate implementing him into our system. He's got that already. Yeah, that's Tyreek will be number 1 for me.
You're a big Dobbs fan. You would want Dipsy Dobbs?
That'd be my guy.
No, not he's not going to be cheap, man. He might be 7th or 8th on that list, but he's not going to be cheap.
I would take Dobbs though. I would take Dobbs if he was at a good price point. What would cheap be? What's his price point, Marcus? Say yeah.
His spot track has him projected to get $12 million a year.
No, we've done the $12 million a year former Green Bay receiver before, and I think we know that.
He's better than MVS.
Just slightly below Mike Evans at 13 a year. Which I can't imagine Mike Evans leaving Tampa Bay. That would be like Kelce leaving Kansas City. So I think his situation would be more of I'm going to retire if I'm not going to be on Tampa Bay. So I'm very curious to see what happens with that situation. But
over the cap has 13 mil for
Dobbs.
Wow. Dobbs.
JD, who's your well, Teja, I don't think you ever said your top 3. You just said Tyreek Hill. Did you even have a 2 and 3?
No, I don't have a 2 and 3.
JD, who's your top 3?
My top 3, price point wise, Dobbs will be 1. I like Christian Kirk. You're talking about a guy that going in, he'll block, he'll do some things. I wanted Christian Kirk a couple of years ago to come here. I don't know how you do now. Man, Dobbs he'll be your man guy, not necessarily beating your man. Yeah, Kirk.
If you're going to replace Juju with someone, I think Kendrick Bourne's good for that.
I like Bourne. I like Bourne
cheap.
too. Yeah, I like Bourne. Bourne's another. That's my 3rd guy. Bourne. Yeah, that's why I couldn't just Bourne.
If we're going bargain, I think Bourne would be my next guy.
Yeah. What is he looking for?
That's probably minimal.
They don't even have him listed as far as how much you. Yeah, they do. 3 mil.
Let me see what over the cap has.
And when he was the featured guy, when San Francisco was good down with the injuries, and Mac Jones went to him when he was the number 1 receiver. I mean, he was tearing it up with San Francisco this year, and he showed flashes before with New England, kind of like a Tyquan Thornton situation where he was a guy in New England, showed flashes but never really panned out. He could be another one of those Tyquan Thornton guys. Obviously, different type of receiver, but he could be another one of those type of guys.
Yeah.
Let me see. Wow. Okay. $6 million valuation.
That's over the cap has.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
They also kind of base it on like what you did that year, and he was heavily utilized because of their injuries. I mean, realistically, he would have been like a number 4 or 5 for them, and not that utilized. He would have been like a $2 million receiver, $1 million.
Well, yeah. Once everybody came back, he was buried again, and no one ever saw him again. So,
like for instance, like Tyreek Hill, because of his usage to end the year, was like a $1.7 million valuation for over the cap.
And we all know that that's not going to happen.
That is not happening. But he's still getting paid in Miami a lot of money, so you know.
And he's also been the other. He's also been the other side of things. He's also going to have to prove he's. I mean, everyone's kind of questioning on him with this whole injury situation. All we've heard from the injury situation is he's getting better. He'll be back by the time the season starts next year. That's from his own words, as well as Drew Rosenhaus's words. Nothing else beyond that. But yeah, I think obviously he's not on this list, but Tyreek Hill would be my number 1 if he was a free agent currently going into this. And I think with everything we talk about, the chemistry aspect. He knows the offense. He knows the playbook. And also, too, not having Mahomes be able to kind of not work till training camp or close to the season. We want guys who have rapport with him, who already kind of know how to play with Mahomes. Not just the playbook aspect. It's the guys who already know it. And that's kind of the basis for bringing back Tyquan and bringing back Hollywood. And then you can bring back Tyreek with them. I think that would be a match made in heaven, obviously. But as far as guys look at this list, I think Kendrick Bourne would be a guy. I think Tutu Atwell screams Andy Reid kind of guy. Talk about a small kind of gadgety receiver, a guy who, would be kind of a fit our type of dude as a receiver would be him.
I go for the Kentucky guy on that one.
Yeah, but his projection, they haven't gained one of the top guys in free agency, JD.
I was going to say, I know he's going to hit the bank. He's going to hit the bank.
He played his butt off this year. About 16 mil is what Spotrac projects him to get per year. So, deservedly so. He's awesome. But yeah, so if Tyreek Hill, so it seems like all three of us would go. If Tyreek Hill was a free agent, that would be the number 1 guy for us to sign this offseason.
Totally. It's honestly perfect for where we are right now, where he is right now. We don't need to rush him back. He can get healthy. We have a good enough receiver room to not be like, okay, when do you come back? When do you come back? When do you come back? And you walk, let's come back. We don't have to do that with him. So I think it's great for when he does come back, hit the ground running, literally. He knows the offense already. His comfort level is already here. There's no acclimation involved. I think honestly, it's perfect. Like he should want to come back, and we should want him to come back. But let me ask you though, between Hollywood or Thornton, whose place is he taking, you think, between those two guys? If he was going to take someone's place.
I think it'd be Hollywood. I think because he's a more all-around receiver. He would do everything like Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be the sacrifice. I mean, it'd be nice to have Hollywood and him in case he misses the first 6 weeks of the season. That'd be nice. But yeah.
I'll tell you who's another guy on here I'd like. Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, I was just looking at him actually. Yeah, he had a pretty good year.
Yeah. He's a good receiver. I like him a lot.
He's a solid contributor.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one. He hasn't been cut yet, but I think I know what Teja would say on this one based on what he said about Pickens and other guys.
No.
Brandon Ayuk is a guy who's going to be cut soon by San Francisco.
Who?
I knew you were asking about him. No. Man.
He gonna be cut. You think
No.
And they say he'll probably want to go to Washington to match up with Jaden Daniels, who's his very close friend.
Go to Washington. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect for him.
What's Naylor's price point on it? What did they got him at?
Naylor 4.7 mil projection.
I take him, man. I'm telling you, Naylor's good, man. He's a hard worker, man. He's a good route runner. I like him.
7 mil over the cap. Wow. Pretty close, though. You wouldn't take Naylor over Hollywood, though, right?
Naylor's youth would help him out. You talking about a guy.
But what about acclimation and getting the system down? Hollywood's got it. That's such an advantage for us.
Yeah.
You know how we like it. You know how we do. So
then you had to talk about the other guys that you got on here. Would you go for Brownlee? Now they might take those guys out of the equation. Bringing a Naylor, I think Naylor
That's
be a
why-
guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For that price point, though, that sounds like Hollywood or Naylor. You know?
Yeah.
If you're talking like a $1 or $2 million guy like Bourne, that's someone you could bring in and not have to sacrifice anybody. But a guy's making 6 to 7, then you start talking about ors instead of ands, you know?
Shoot. I mean, like I said, man, it depends.
You're a big Naylor guy. If you're actually contemplating Hollywood or Naylor.
Even Taekwon.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I mean that's like double what Taekwon makes. Again, you do the whole him for this or him for this. Taekwon for 2 threes. Woo! 5 and below, baby.
The Definitely Beach
saying,
style.
You got like
Come on
Naylor
now.
stress the defense. I mean, I get it. I mean,
Question though, Teja, this is a good point that a lot of people have made on the chat. You said you didn't want Pickens and Jawan Jennings and Ayuk because of character concerns. Tyreek Hill is also, he's had his, he has his baggage. Why would you say him and disregard his character concerns based on, you're disregarding all these other guys who have character concerns?
I think Hill's at a different part of his career than those guys are. I think Hill has hit the top of the hill and he's on his way down, and he hasn't won since he left here. So that regret of what could have been is in his head. Pickens is pretty much scratching the surface of where he is, and he's about to get a long-term commitment from somebody with a lot of money, a lot of guaranteed money. Hill's already had that twice over. He's going to get paid anyway. So at this point of his career, he's not chasing anything other than just, chasing an old feeling that he had. I think he'll be more committed to us than Pickens would be, seeing how he's already been here. Pickens is going to have to, acclimate not only to our playbook, to our culture. Whereas Hill, look, Hill had the big time issue where he got off, by the way, but that was pretty much it. Like Hill wasn't a problem for us when he was there. He was a little mouthy on the sidelines, but look, man, if your receiver's all he is mouthy, I'll take it. That's the worst thing against him. But Hill was overall a decent citizen with us. Like, I know his name was in the news, but he didn't nothing happened out of it, right? He came out clean and we gave him a contract after that. We didn't leave because of problems. We left because of money. I think if they're all risks, I go with the risk that we've had before. Not a new risk. And not a risk that we don't know how he's going to do with us. I don't know how he should even play with us. Like, I don't know how Pickens is going to be with us, right? So I know what Hill is like in a Chiefs jersey. An unknown commodity like the other guys, who are also going to cost way more than him, by the way, in my opinion. So that's my reasoning for that. Let me say one more thing on that. Sorry. Ayuk, San Fran is his Chiefs for Tyreek Hill. And he's been told just stay away till we wade you. That's a bad breakup, man. That's not how it happened with us and Hill, right? Pickens got traded away in his last year of his rookie contract by his team, right? These are guys coming from places where teams didn't want to invest more time into them, despite how talented they are. We invested 2 contracts in Tyreek Hill. So I think it's completely different in that regard. There you go. Sorry.
JD, thoughts on that?
No, I don't know what what are we talking about here? What was?
Well, the point fans are making in the chat were saying that Teja disregard a lot of other guys because of the character concerns, but yet he wants Tyreek Hill, who does have his own baggage.
Yeah, we like you said, that's family. We know it. Sure, we know. He's a little rowdy, but he's all right. He's good with us. Yeah, we're like, yeah, but Tyreek, you're like, yeah, we know that. Shoot, we know. We already know it. So I don't think the controversy as far as doing that is even something to speak about. It's the price point. What do you get Tyreek at? That's the question. How do you get a Tyreek here? That's the question.
That's the question. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of playing to prove himself as far as the injury goes and how he has recovered from it. Because who knows? I mean, a lot of people thought it was going to be a worse injury as far as the surgery wise on it. There was only one surgery. A lot of people said it was going to be multiple surgeries. It ended up being one. So I think a lot of fans and a lot of people think that, he's not going to be the same guy. And the point you made a couple weeks ago on the show was a 90%, even an 85% Tyreek Hill is still faster than 99% of the guys in the league. And I think that's a big deal. And the guy already knows our system as well. So there's a lot there with Tyreek.
Yeah.
All right. So let's end the show on the draft prospects. So the wide receivers heading into this 2026 draft is going to be there's some solid guys in this one. I would say it's the sexiest, kind of deepest wide receiver pool. You're a fan.
Pretty deep.
I Teja's a big fan of this. But looking at this, I know some people have said number 9th pick either should be D-line, or should be running back. But there are some people out there who are saying they are thinking about the Rashee Rice, off the field issues, as well as his contract coming up in a year or two. They may find that next guy in this draft at the number 9th pick. What do you guys make of the finding a receiver in this draft, be it number 9 or be it a mid-round guy?
I would. You're looking at one of the top 3 receivers. You get him at number 9, right? Projected. And so, to be honest, for me, it really has to be Cordell Tate or Jordan Tyson if everybody else is gone. If everybody else is gone, I would say Tate or Tyson would be the 2 guys. Other than that, you find somebody later on down the road, sure. And this goes into the conversation, like you said, about Rice. If you're going to be all in on him, then okay, that's fine. But one of these guys you could definitely take and be the other guy. You shoot. Then you could utilize these guys the way that you want to. But that would be mine for the top. The 9th pick would be those 2 guys. I think Lemon he's a good receiver. I don't know if he's the top 9 pick. I don't not in my estimation. So find a guy maybe down the road.
Tej, what are your thoughts on the on finding a receiver, EP at 9 or mid-round guy?
I think it comes down. I think a lot of it comes down to Rice. How you envision his future and how you envision him on the field. I think if you want Rice to be your slot, I think Tate's an easy decision. I think Tate's just a true X. Just can't guard him one-on-one, beat your man, doesn't drop the ball, can still do intermediate routes. He'll kill you on those too. He's got the long strides, didn't drop a ball this year, 97% drop rate the last 2 years. He blocks too, right? So he's like a complete receiver. Not a slot guy, so I think he'd be your X if you're doing that. Mm-hmm. Tyson, I think if you want to hedge your bet and say, hey, if Rice gets it together, we keep him. If not, we have Tyson who can definitely play X, and he can play slot. You can move Tyson anywhere. Or you could say, hey, let's if Rice keeps developing and we want him to be our X, Tyson can play slot. That's fine. I think those are 2 of the higher guys because they have I think, two of the best go get it out there in the draft.
Absolutely.
Like I think Tyson. I've heard Tyson is the number one. I'm throwing the ball up, just
go
beat him in the air and go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Tate's more of a I'm throwing it far, go get it before he does. I think that's Tate. I think Lemon is getting a lot of traction because of he's reminding a lot of people of JSN and Puka, and that's a very popular receiver in these postseason and the season period. Those are two most dominant receivers probably in the league this year. I think he's got those guys game in him. He's got the mini Puka. He's got the JSN craftiness and the route running. I mean, I was watching a Lemon route where like I couldn't tell if it was being sped up because that's how quick his feet were at the front of the route. I mean, his feet were just going so fast. That cornerback had no idea what he was doing. I think Lemon is.
Who was he playing? Who was that against?
Really anyone. His highlights when he just like it's like a Looney Tunes character when their feet are going.
Yeah, no, I see his choppy steps. That's what kind of throws me off a little bit with him. Not saying he's not a good receiver. I mean, saying like Jigba's like that's geez.
Honestly, when I saw him, he reminded me the most of, especially with the ball in his hands. With the ball in his hands, he reminded me of Steve Smith Sr. and Golden Tate. That's what I got from him more than anyone. And it's just that when he gets the ball in his hands, he's like a running back. You can't bring him down. Like he just refuses to go down. And he's got that really tough wiring to him, like an Amon Ra type as well. I see a little of that. He's got a lot of those dudes. But I think with Lemon, I would not be upset if he drafted Lemon. I think Lemon comes in day one as like an alpha number one receiver. I think he's more of a slot. I think that's where his. If you're drafting him, you're doing him a disservice putting him somewhere else. At least to start, you start him at slot and let him dominate. That's if you think Rice is either gone in a year, or you think Rice can handle X full time. So that's why I think with him, it's a little more obvious where we think things are going with Rice. And that's also if none of the other receivers are there. So let's say somehow if all three receivers are there and you go Lemon, I think you think Rice is gone next year is what I think. But I love Lemon, but he is a little more limited. He's smaller. Some people think he's going to be 5'10", maybe when measurements happen, not 5'11". Right now he's listed at 5'11", 195. But do they throw him fades? Like he's a guy like they threw him whatever route. They didn't limit him in the route. So they're like, you know what? Go get it. And he would go get it.
Yeah, but we talking like Jordan Tyson is the guy that if you want to throw it up and you want to go get it.
I agree.
That's the dude you want. At least for me. Okay, my estimation. I'm not like Lemon. I like him. I think he's a good player. But Tyson is a guy that you're sitting there saying, oh, yeah, he's your clear number one when he comes in. He's your guy. Like, immediately. You're not trying to develop this dude. This dude is your number one favorite immediately coming in. And then you sit there saying, well, Rice, man, you might, when it comes down to it, you might be the number two. If this guy, is he going to overtake who you are and who you can play with? But Tyson is there to make plays. That's what you got him there for, to make plays.
Yeah. Tyson looks like a poor man's, not a poor man's, middle upper class CeeDee Lamb is what I see in Tyson.
Yeah.
Carnell Tate reminded me, I know when you say remind, let's don't think he's the second coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Carnell Tate reminded me of AJ Green. I saw a lot of AJ Green in him. Those long legs, long strides. It doesn't look like he's going that fast, but he just blows by the dude, just gracefully makes it look easy and catches that ball over his shoulder. And I saw one trick pony for Tate. Tate was 100 percentile in contested catches. He gets it over people. So his separation scores are incredible. 95 percentile separation on single coverage, 98 overall. I'm not. I don't have a problem with either any of those guys. It's a very deep draft. I think if we don't, let's say Bain or Bailey falls, or we're just in love with Downs, and we're like, you know what, Downs, let's just get our defensive captain for the next 10 years right now. I'm cool with that too. There's a lot of receivers later on. I like Brazo out of Tennessee. Go ahead, Marcus. You're gonna say something.
I was a shout out to Cody Grunch here for the contribution. He says 2 wide receivers in the late rounds: Malachi Fields and Bryce Lance. Malachi Fields, before he transferred to Notre Dame, went to UVA. The guy at my gym that I go to played football with him. Says he's a great guy, great work ethic. So I love that. And then Bryce Lance, I think North Dakota State. He's the younger brother of Trey Lance. I'm just curious, do you know anything about those guys? Have you done any research on those guys?
Bryce Lance, not so much, but Fields, yeah. I mean, that's a true X. He's like, I think he measured in at 6'4" today. Catches with his hands, a bully, mosses people. Not the most dynamic or twitchy guy, but that's just a big rocked up X is what you're getting out of that.
Big dude, man. That's your X guy. Like you said, if you want to throw it up, yeah, shoot.
Yeah, that's a go up and get it guy. That's like strictly your go up and get a guy, really. I think he'd be a really good number 3 in an offense. And, at this point, he would be a number 3 in our offense. So I like him a lot. I don't know a lot about Bryce Lance. I like Brazo. I love Brazo's highlights. I love watching him. He reminds me of like Pickens. But it's a really deep receiver draft. So if they're thinking like, we don't have to do this, we can wait a little bit and get the guy that fits into our offense. I think you could definitely do that. Boston's another big body. Surratt's, I think, going to be a really good NFL player. He's not the flashiest. I think this draft's going to turn out a lot of good NFL receivers. I don't think you have him on here, McAllister from TCU. I like McAllister a lot too. I think he's projected. I think he'll fly up the boards eventually. I think right now he's like a 4th round pick. But I loved his highlights, man. He was really, really good. Missed tackles, first amongst 26 missed tackles forced, first amongst receivers, draft eligible, YPRR, 3rd against man, yards after catch, 4th. Watch him. He's a fun watch, and he's a 4th round. He's a big dude. He does have some character concerns, though.
He's out.
Ding, 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 ding.
He does have some character concerns. I read some interesting stuff about him, man. There was one. Was it him actually? I need to look that up. There was one receiver I was looking at. I think it was the receiver. He had like 15 like driving citations. I was like, man, I don't know if we can go for a driving citation, dude.
It was like the on-campus like fake cop. It doesn't count, the guy who just writes up tickets all day doesn't count.
I'll tell you, he looks good. I'm looking at KC Concepcion. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. He's a stud.
Yeah, he's small. He's a smaller guy. I think he'd be good too. I just think, again, it really depends on what we think. Brazo would be nice later, but I have a feeling he's going to fly up the boards too. I think when it's all said and done, Brazo's going to be like a 2nd round pick, late 2nd, maybe early 3rd. A lot of these guys, I mean, it's early, so some of these guys can go from being like a 4th or 5th to like a 2nd in the next like 2 months. How crazy is that? Cooper's getting a lot of love, also from Indiana. There's so many guys, man.
Guy.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys get the love. JW8419 says, whomever they get, please, Andy, don't give them the royal treatment. Let the rookies play. I like that the royal treatment is like the opposite of what actual royal treatment is. It's not playing at all.
If you get someone at 9, you better not get the royal treatment.
Oh,
no. We saw him when Xavier Worthy, his first game, he was a 1st round pick. His first game, they got him 2 touchdowns against the Ravens. So like, if he's a 1st round pick, they're going to give him the ball. I mean, 4th round guy like Royals. I mean, it's crazy that he didn't get playing time even when all the guys were being shut down at the end of the season. Still doesn't make much sense to me. But a lot of names and a lot of guys to digest, guys. After we do the breakdowns of our position groups going into the offseason. We will do specific player breakdowns on our Draft Monday shows. So we're just kind of giving you the broad, this is who's out there, so you guys can kind of get to know some of these names before we kind of dissect individual dudes going forward.
There's two guys right there, Tate and Tyson, the only two I would take as that ninth pick. That's it. After that, go find maybe somebody a little bit later.
I think it depends who's there.
Huh?
I think it depends who's there. If you're talking Peter Woods or Mekhi Lemon, I think I might go Lemon there.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, if it comes down to it, I would go D-line over them. Between those two guys, I would go Peter Woods.
D-line, you go position over him?
I would, if it was because I'm not high on either one of those guys, but I would lean in that situation. I think D-line outweighs wide receiver there, and I would
we
go.
Definitely need. Yeah, we need. That's a need. That's a need. We got guys on wide receiver right now that plays. We understand that. We know. And matter of fact, with Chad here, everybody's game is going to be elevated even more anyway. So. You got another year. Royals is another year. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go get a guy like this unless it's a sure thing. And I think those two guys are sure things. But other than that, we need pass rush and D-line. There's no doubt about it.
Mahomes on defense is a D tackle.
He needs help. I wonder what his win rate. What would you call it? Was a help rate?
His help rate.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Mahomes' help rates, it's down there, right? So we have guys, but
we need help.
Guys, I don't know.
He's got that Mahomes has a first and second round receivers. He's got Jones has Karlaftis, and that's it. And Karlaftis is the pressure king. We need somebody else.
Omar Norman Lott was a second round pick.
Well, we didn't see him because he's hurt.
FAU was a first round pick.
He's hurt.
So you got 2 firsts and a second round pick on that D line with him. That's not nothing.
We need a first round number.
That's
number
investment.
9 though. We didn't the first round number 9 pick.
I hear you, but I want a guy who I want a 9 prospect, not just a guy who plays that position at 9. Lemon, I think's a dude. I don't know if Woods is a dude. I think he plays D tackle. That's all. I hear you on the need. Trust me. I just think personally, Lemon would just be a superior player for our team than Woods would be.
I don't know. You're giving everybody in the chat PTSD talking about some of these failed first round picks you're talking about.
Yeah.
hey, whether they produce or not, they're invested. We did invest.
We did.
We haven't neglected the D line. We haven't neglected it.
So you think I say this. Number 9, I consider maybe one of the pass rushers is going to be there. One of them.
No question.
You know, so if
I'd go pass rush.
Bailey's gone, I think Bailey may be there. If Bailey's there, you're not passing up on Bailey.
No.
So okay, all right.
It does give me hope that Daniel Jeremiah just mocked Ruben Bain to us today. If Daniel Jeremiah's mocking that, hopefully he knows something that Ruben Bain can't slip to number 9. Because man, Jeremiah knows his stuff and he's tapped in with these GMs. And it's very early, no combine yet, but the fact that he has Bain going to 9 to us is huge.
I was listening to someone talk about how scouts, like in rare cases, they'll not do this, but if there are certain guys that slip into a threshold of like certain measurables, they just won't draft them unless it's just like an absolute steal and the value is too much. But if his arms are as short as some people are fearing they are to be, then he could drop off a lot of people's boards out of that top 10.
I
hope so.
Yeah, I hope so, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
A lot of people's not going to just be locked in on his arms. They're going to look at the film and say, this dude right here is a wrecking ball. He's a machine. And
yeah. Hey, Simmons dropped off. Simmons had the tape in that short year, who looked like an alpha left tackle. People got scared away by medical stuff.
Yeah, that's different. like we watched him have short arms his entire career and he's still killing people. We don't know what your D's going to do if we never. This is unprecedented.
Yep.
Having a guy come off an injury like this and starting. So,
yeah, but falling all the way to the end of the round, no one else wanted to take a chance on that, hoping to get a bona fide stud left tackle. Hey, I'm glad.
Yeah. Medical, shoot. That's, oh, man. He was like, is that knee going to be able to hold up? Like, we don't know. He's never played with a knee like this before. Dang, God.
I like that he dropped out of the Senior Bowl.
Huh?
Bain did?
I like that he dropped out. A lot of them did. Bailey, Bain, Messidor, a bunch of the top dudes did.
Yeah.
When you brought up Lemon's height, I thought that was funny. I don't know if you guys saw the story. Diego Pavia, the Vanderbilt quarterback, he was listed he was listed at 6 foot on the Vanderbilt website in the roster. He measured 5'9" today.
He was 6 foot. Really? They had him listed at 6 foot?
Yeah. 5'9" and 7/8 is what he was listed at today.
He was on his toes when they was measuring it. You say what? 5'9", 5'8"?
5'9", 7/8 was his measure at the Senior Bowl today.
Oh yeah.
And he was listed at 6 foot. So you're going to see a lot of that stuff's going to happen with some of his top prospects. A lot of those things are going to happen from now till the combine. So the guys who are ranked high may fall. The guys who are ranked low may come up. So I mean, stuff like that will happen. But I love that. As a short guy, hearing that 6 foot to 5'9", I love that. I hope someone drafts him.
Especially a lot of these measurements are from spring, apparently. And they said spring measurements are just highly inaccurate a lot of times.
And also blatant lies too.
Well, yeah. Well, you want to sell
that's
on
a lie.
Hey, he probably backed up. Was like, man, no way, man, no way. I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, man. I'm telling you, I've been 6 foot these past few years. I'm telling you, I'm 6 foot. Like, no, you're not. Okay, you're 5'9".
But push it down. Tell me when it's touching your. Tell me when it's touching your skull. Now. It's not even touching your hair, sir. I said now.
Right. Oh, man, I can hear man. No way. No way. I know it. That sucker's a player though, man. He's a baller. I love it.
Wait! You're a Pavia fan, but you didn't like Baker in college? Come on, this guy's got even more. At least Baker was just moxie. This guy's cocky and then some.
You're just grouping into the moxie word.
Yeah,
those are all brothers in the same neighborhood, man. Moxie, cocky.
But Pavia isn't like the same tier as what Baker was. Arguably, maybe a little bit more than what Baker was.
But he is somebody that is a little bit more gentler on the ballot. He is. He's not as rambunctious as Baker Mayfield. Baker running out there putting the flag and all that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think Pavia could have done that. But the thing is, no one showed that because no one gave a crap about Pavia. Baker was on every single TV constantly. So, it was in your face, right? I think that's part of it. Is Baker got the airtime on all those stations.
Yeah. He was.
If Baker played for a crappy team and you never saw him, I don't think you'd be as annoyed because you never would have known about all these antics.
That's a good point. The Oklahoma definitely brought it to a bigger stage for sure.
Hey man, I only need to see it one time. If I see a guy act like a jerk the first time, I'm like, yeah, that guy's a jerk. He's a jerk, man. I don't want this dude on team.
You say, who is this guy? But then when he does it 15 times and he's on every single station, you're like, man, get this guy off my television. That's when you're saying that.
If I see you overdoing like this and folks and planting the flag and you know what, get rid of this guy. And not to mention, what's his name? Skip Bayless loved him to death. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, Skip Mahomes until it became a popular thing to go against Mahomes, and then he went and he flipped his whole thing on Mahomes. But the thing about Pavia, I mean, he did say, well, what did he say after he lost the Heisman? He said, "F all voters." I mean, Baker grabbed his family jewels. And and said some stuff to the other team, but he never said F the voters.
Yeah, that's okay. Go on, your family jewels in front of everybody, your kids, and everybody. There you go. That's okay. Maybe some guys that are more biased against you. Yeah, screw those guys.
They both apologize for it. So Baker apologized for his antics, and Pavi apologized for his antics. So,
yeah.
But all right, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed our breakdown of the wide receiver room. It's going to be a fun thing to kind of track as the offseason goes on for our wide receiver room. Only 3 guys going into next year. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, that does it for us. Thanks for watching Chief Concerns presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys Wednesday for another great show to talk about all things going on in Chiefs Kingdom. JD, take us away, brother.
Oh man, shoot! Listen, I am so happy. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm so happy. I am that the Super Bowl, the 2 contenders in it, worked out well. I'm glad. It's going to be a great game. Okay, y'all stay tuned for that. But this, with the whole wide receiver group and whatnot, everything is going to work itself out. Everything's going to work itself out. I know everybody keep talking about Doug Flutie, DJ Jazzy, Doug Flutie. I'm a big Doug Flutie fan too. But listen, more importantly, if you're stuck in this weather, take care of yourself. Make sure you have a plan. Stay warm. Stay out of the elements if you can. Kick your feet up. Relax. Have some hot chocolate. Do whatever. But whatever you do not have to brave these elements if you don't need to. All right? So everybody just chill. Take it easy. And, y'all be safe. So with that being said, man, Marcus, Teja, man, love you, brothers. Oh, on another point, also, I want to make this point as well. I think it's very important. When I keep saying that we need to be better toward one another, we need to be better toward each other. Love each other the way we're supposed to love each other. There's a lot of controversy out here, man, about people showing their hearts and having love and empathy for others in lives. And we shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be anything that we compromise our integrity or who we are. We should care about folks. That's what we should do. And so with that being said, some of the tragic things that's been happening up there, man, in this world, sometimes it's hard to deal and do a job like this, I say, because it's kind of on my mind saying this. So with that being said, man, I want to be, for things to work well in this world, we got to do a much better job of that. And so I know the young man that lost his life there in Minnesota. Pray for his family. In law enforcement and those people, we want to pray for those be safe. We want people to do the job the right way. It's nothing, there shouldn't be any type of controversy there. Okay. We need to do a much better job holding each other accountable. We can't be speaking of everybody because we want to be on some political plane or whatever. This is about morality and life. And we should be fighting for the betterment of what life is. Okay. So with that being said, y'all take care. Love you guys. Y'all be safe out there. We will see you all on Wednesday. Yep.
Wednesday, baby.
Wednesday.
All right.
All righty.
Well said. Love you all.
God bless. We'll see you.
See you, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.